Hey guys, what's up? Elite Drago here today, bringing you a Sacred Beast deck profile from the new structure deck that came out a little while ago. So without further ado, I'm just going to hop right into it. And I did add some stuff in here that is not from the structure deck. It's my own personal twist to the deck itself, and you'll see as I get into it. So the first three that I've run is of course the Ravio, Lord of Phantasm. Basically how you summon this guy is you need 3 Fiend type monsters on your field, and you tribute those 3 Fiend type monsters to special summon this from your hand. But you also have another way to bring him out. You have 2 other ways actually. You have this guy here, and then you also have this guy here. So you have your Chaos Summoning Beast, and then you have your Dark Summoning Beast. So the difference between the two, really to help you bring out the Raviel here, is this guy here, he only does from hand, and the Dark Summoning Beast does from deck. And then also the Dark Summoning Beast has a second effect where you can banish him from your graveyard to add one of the Sacred Beasts to your hand, or you can add a card to your hand that has one of the Sacred Beasts' names listed in this text to your from your deck to your hand. So just want to specify that. That is an easier way for you to be able to bring them out. And I do run the other Sacred Beast in here. I only run I think 2 and then 1 of the other one. Of course, I think it's Uria I only run 1 of. And next guy I run here is the new version of Raviel. Raviel, the basically shimmering scraper. Raviel Lord Phantasma Shimmering Scraper. And literally this guy is kind of like your honest of the deck. So you can literally just discard him from your hand, and whatever Raviel is his current attack is at, you can actually double that current attack. So you can use Raviel's effect to tribute a monster, gain that monster's attack on top of your own, and on top of that, when you discard this, whatever the attack is, that attack becomes doubled. It's basically his current attack. And basically also you can actually tribute 1 Fiend type monster on the field and literally just recur this back to your hand. So you can just basically just keep on looping it back to your hand as long as you have monsters to tribute. And because of that, I also do run the Layer of Darkness field spell, so that if I do need to use Raviel's effect, I can distribute my opponent's monster. So I can distribute my opponent's monster and basically gain that monster's attack on top of my own. So you can get rid of problem cards. It does not target. It treats the card as if it is your own card. So you don't have to worry about cards where it says that they can't be targeted by card effect. Alright, so next up I do run 2 Haman. Basically I just run this just in case I don't want you attacking my other cards. So when I summon him out off the Dark Summoning Beast or the Chaos Summoning Beast, I believe that's Chaos Summoning Beast, from the hand, you can just special summon in defense, and then when your opponent tries to declare an attack, they have to attack him first. So it's kind of cool, and if you get 2 out, you can kind of lock your opponent out so your opponent can't attack you at all. And it's kind of nice to have. And mainly I also run this just so that I can go into the fusion armor tile. So I basically just run that just so it helps me go into that. And I also do run the 1 Uria. I only run 1 because he's the worst one out of all of them. And you need traps to basically bring him to your field. And if you don't have continuous traps on your field, you really can't bring him out to his full extent. So you can't really utilize what he does to the full extent. So next up, I run two Slave for the Sky Dragon, because in this deck you can actually maintain hand count pretty well. It's not really too much of an issue, because the fill spell lets you draw 2 cards if you control a one of the Sacred Beasts on the field, and then also there's a continuous spell that also lets you draw a card as well. So it's very easy to maintain hand counts. I figured I would run at least 2 of him. I haven't personally used him in the deck yet. I just realized it when I was doing a friend the other day, and I realized because I had such a high hand count that I could basically take advantage and actually use him. And pretty much how you summon this guy is you just need 3 monsters. You tribute them 3, and his summon counts as a normal summon. And of course, your opponent cannot activate in response to his summon. So, and of course, next up, I run, I guess I was saying before, I run 3 the Chaos Summoning Beast. And basically, what he does, you literally tribute him himself, and then you summon either Yuria, Haman, or Raviel directly from your hand. And he can also banish himself, from the graveyard. And you can add 1 Fallen Paradise, which is the fill spell for the Sacred Beast that lets you draw 2 cards from your deck. So it's kind of cool because you get a free Sacred Beast on the field, and then you also get the fill spell. I do also run 3 Dark Summoning Beasts, just in case I don't draw into the Chaos Summoning Beast, and this is a little bit more helpful because there's another card called the Dark Reckoning Beast. It gives, when it's normal summon, you basically search one of those cards to your hand that has to do with the Sacred Beast, and that guy actually gives you an additional normal summon. So once you summon out that guy, you can tribute that the Dark Reckoning Beast for him, and then basically just tribute him again, and basically just special summon one of the 3 from your deck. So, and like I just said, I do run the Dark Reckoning Beast. Like I said, he does give you additional normal summon off of his initial summon, and he lets you search any card that has to do with the Sacred Beast from your deck to your hand. I do run the Phantom of Chaos just to kind of really utilize the other guys that I run to the best of my ability. So if I have the Dark Reckoning, if I wanted to get another additional normal summon, I could just banish him for his effect and just keep going with my combos. I can do Dark Chaos Summoning Beast. I could do Dark Summoning Beast. Basically anything that, as long as it's so it's a monster effect, of course. Anything that I feel like in that current situation that I need to use, I can just banish and just basically just continue my combo. Alright, so a new guy from the actual structure deck itself. It's not really a new card, it's actually an older card that they reintroduced into Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, the Puppet Master. And literally all he does is when you tribute summon him, you can pay 2,000 life points, and you special summon 2 Fiend-type monsters from your graveyard, but they cannot attack the turn that they're summoned. So mainly you just do that just to help go into other things, get other effects off, and you just continue your combos, and hopefully get your armor tile out on the field, and then you get like a Raviel out on the field with increased attack, and then you're also able to double his attack with the Shimmering Scrapers effect. So I do run 3 of the Wicked Warden. Basically, I just use him for his search effect, so I could search Raviel to my hand, or I just discard him to get the field spell to my hand. So he does have his uses. I do not run the Darkness Diablo in here because that is not the focus of the deck. The focus of the deck is actually the Sacred Beast and the one Egyptian god that I run. So I try to get them to the field as soon as possible, and but that just helps me utilize that, you know, to the best of its ability. I do run the 2 Miracle Lady Lamnet. I don't know how to say that. So basically what she does is she has a quick effect. I contribute 2 monsters, then target 1 normal trap card that is banished or in my graveyard, and basically I set it face down on the field, and then of course when it leaves the field, it is I believe it's banished when it leaves the field. I believe that's right. Let me just double check. Oh, okay. Now it goes to the bottom of the deck. Sorry about that. So it goes to the bottom of the deck once that card leaves the field, which is kind of cool though, because it doesn't go back out of play. You know, you put it back in your deck and you can reuse it later. And this also helps with the Layer of Darkness as well, because if you need to tribute 2 monsters and you have Layer of Darkness on the field, you can distribute 2 of your opponent's monsters and say goodbye to them and get your card. Alright, so the last monster of the deck I run is the Curry Bandit. Basically just kind of helped me get to my spell track cards a little faster. There are ways for me to, like, if I do mill the Sacred Beast to the graveyard, there are ways for me to basically special summon them from the graveyard, ignoring the summon condition, and I will get into that once I get into my spell and trap cards, because one of those cards actually has that type of effect. So, and Curry Bandit, everybody should know what he does. You know, you excavate the 5 top cards of your deck, and then you choose 1 spell or trap card among them, and you add that spell or trap card to your hand, and then the rest of the cards that you milled go to the graveyard. Alright, so hopping right in to the spells here. So I do run 3 of the Fallen Paradise. And literally what this card does is if I control a Uria, Haman, or Raviel, basically my opponent cannot target them with card effects. And also they cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then also, basically once per turn, I can, as long as I control one of them, I could draw 2 cards directly from my deck to my hand. So it kind of really helps, you know, keeping them on the field, because usually once you get them on the field, your opponent does everything they can to basically get rid of them. I do run the 3 Layer of Darkness, literally just for cards that either tribute themselves or tribute other cards. As you've seen, I do run some of those. The Wicked Warden, Curry Bandit, what you call it, the Dark Lady. So those cards, when they do tribute dark monsters or themselves, I do get tokens. So, and those tokens will help me with the Raviel combo. Okay, so this is one of the cards I do run that is new from the structure deck here. Opening of the Spirit Gates. And literally what this card does is when it's activated, I add 1 card that has to do with either Uria, Raviel, or Haman from my deck to my hand, as long as the card name is in the text. Or it could be, you know, Uria, Haman, or Raviel themselves. I add them directly from my hand, directly from my deck to my hand. And then it does have an effect where I can discard 1 card, special summon a monster that has 0 tag, 0 defense from the graveyard. So literally, if I already used my dark summoning beast like the turn before, I can just discard 1 card, bring it back, and then just reutilize the effect and special summon another one. So it's continuous. So it's actually kind of good because you just constantly just use it. So next up, I do run the polymerization card of the deck, which is Dimension Fusion Destruction. And literally, any Phantasm Fusion monster this can be used for. There is 2 Phantasm fusion monsters that did come with the structure deck. And these are them. So you do have the Phantasm Emperor Trilogy. Sorry, I almost said that wrong. Trilogy. And you have Armityle, the Chaos Phantasm. So these two can literally be fusion summoned off of this spell card right here. And literally how you do that is you could banish them either from your hand or your graveyard. Usually it's just specifically has to do with Herman, Raviel, and Uria. So if you banish those, you can just basically just get one of those guys out. That's why I run at least 3 of the Raviels, just so I can utilize that to the maximum. The other guys are kind of like second best, really. You really don't try to use them that much unless you come into a situation where you need to stall a little bit. So I do run, oops, sorry about that. I do run 2 of the Recurring Nightmare. Basically just to just refodder my hand with monsters with 0 attack and 0 defense to my hand, and basically just so I can have them for later when I need them, like my Dark Summoning Beast or the Chaos Summoning Beast, whatever I need. It just helps, get them back to my hands. And if I can't use the continuous spell, the opening of the Spirit Gates, then I just use this. And it's quick, or my opponent MSTs or Twin Twisters, my continuous spell. Okay, if I have this in my hand, I activate this, I get 2 instead of 1. So I just activate this one, and I get 2 of them back to my hand instead of just 1. So it kind of helps for like a backup plan. I do also run the Dark Eruption. Sorry, I know you guys seen that for a minute. I thought I was running 3 of the Recurring Nightmares, but I only run 2. But Dark Eruption literally does the same thing. It does 1500 or less attack, a dark monster. It's literally the same thing. Just kind of keep your hand full, and that will also help for the Cypher as well. Cypher the Sky Dragon. I do run 2 Hyper Burst or Hyper Blaze, sorry. And literally, I don't use this for the first effect, where if you're trying to summon Uria, you can use continuous trap cards that are set as well as face up. That's literally what this does, unless you do that. I just literally utilize it for the second effect. And the second effect is literally that you can discard 1 card and then either add to your hand from the graveyard or special summon from the graveyard 1 Uria, 1 Haman, or 1 Raviel, ignoring its summon condition. So usually that's what you do with this. You just discard 1 card and then bang, you just get a free Sacred Beast from your graveyard. So that's why I don't mind using the Decrepit Bandit, because if I mill one of the Sacred Beasts and I get this a part of the mill, I'll just add this to my hand and then just set it and just basically just wait until my opponent goes, and then during their standby I'll just activate it, discard my card, and then get my Sacred Beast. Alright, so I do also run 2 Awakening of the Sacred Beast, and literally what this does is the more Sacred Beasts you have in the field with different names, you gain more effects. So if you only have 1 Sacred Beast in the field, every single time your opponent normal summons or special summons, you gain life points equal to that monster's attack. And then also if you have 2, any activated effects on the field are just negated. And also if you have 3, any monsters that would go to your opponent's graveyard are just banished instead. So it's kind of like your Macrocosmo, Skill Drain, and then a little bit of a life point boost there. So this is very useful. Pretty much like if you're able to like mid game get this set up along with your setup. Alright, so and this also helps if you have like dead cards in your hand, like you have too many of the Sacred Beasts in your hand, and it goes really well with this guy here, with the Hyper Blaze, because if I discard I discard one monster, or I send 1 monster from my hand or field to the graveyard, and then I draw one card. So that helps with that. So if I have a Sacred Beast in my hand, okay, I discard the Sacred Beast out of my hand. Okay, I draw one card, and I basically replenish my hand. And then I also discard another card to just basically summon the Sacred Beast, literally from the graveyard, ignoring the summon conditions. And it kind of helps. Like, this is more like a late game combo. If your opponent gets over your stuff, it's like if you're trying to recover, it's like a late game. You're trying to make a comeback and get that win in there. All right, so the 3 of that I run is the infinite impermanence. And literally everybody knows what this does. If you don't control any cards, you can activate it from your hand, and it literally target one monster in the field and negate its effects until the end phase. And of course, your control cards is still a good bait, good way to make your opponent do stuff. Your opponent activates a card, you do this to bait out another monster effect, to basically make them waste it. Then it kind of opens up more plays for you. Alright, last but not least, this deck does have to worry about back row, so I do run the 3 Heavy Storm Duster. Usually I just do it during my opponent's end phase, so that, the whole part where I can't, conduct my battle phase doesn't apply, because it is a trap card, and I just do it during my opponent's turn, just so I don't have to worry about that, that little hindrance that this card applies. So I'm at least able to still get rid of 2 cards. I don't have to discard a card like Twin Twister. The only downside is you have to set it, and you have to wait a turn. So usually, you just set this during your end phase, and then your opponent's turn, when they go to set some cards for their end phase, you just basically just activate this during their end phase, and they really can't do nothing because they literally just set the cards. So, all right, and then moving on to the extra deck here, I do run 2 number XX. Utopia Dark Infinity. Now, literally, just because you need 2 level 10s to get him out. And literally what he does is when he battles opponent's monster and destroys it by battle, I literally take control of that monster and literally equip it to him in the back row. And he also has a second effect where I can target one other monster that's face up on the field. And if that monster was special summoned, I gain life points equal to that monster's original attack. So it's kind of good because it helps you, steal monsters where if a monster can keep on recurring itself on its own to your opponent's field, and you don't want that happening, you just use this guy and basically, just take that card away from them. All right, so I do run the oh boy. I do run 2 Max. That's the only thing. I'm not going to get into that whole name. And basically, yet again, you need 2 level 10. And then, of course, once per turn, you can detach 1, inflict 1,000 points to your... sorry, not 1,000, 2,000 to your opponent. And then the best part is, with that, you can still attack afterwards. So you don't even have to, worry about, oh, I can't attack, I just burn you. But you can still attack afterwards, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so the last 2 guys that I run is the Armor Tile and the Trilogy. So, these guys are basically just literally for the Sacred Beast, if I need to be able to bring them out. So with the Armor Tile, during your turn only, he gains 10,000 attack. So literally, you summon him out literally when you're trying to end a duel. So, or you're trying to go for game. And you summon out the Phantasm, or